Okay, listen. Listen, listen. Hello, knockouts. Tonya TKO here. I can't. Listen, listen, I can't. All right, listen. Come on in. I can't. Listen, come on in, everyone. Come on in. I just, listen, I'm minding my own business. Or, listen, okay, people want to call in. People want to call in. Listen, who am I? Who am I to deny you a call in? Who am I to deny you a call in? I'm gonna go get the phone lines up. Right? Okay, I'm gonna get the phone lines up for you. Listen, I'm minding my business on quarantine. You know, I'm in New York City locked down. When I receive a text from an associate, I click on the text, minding my own business. I'm thinking the text is about coronavirus. I scroll through the text. What does my eyes see? I see a headline about some guy by the name of Travis Dyson. I said, Dyson, I don't know anybody named Dyson. So here we go. I'm reading the article. Then, listen, then they mentioned Andrew Gillum. I said, that name sounds a little familiar. Then I see the picture. Listen. Let me read to you all what I have seen. CNN is reporting on this. This is all over the internet now. I don't know if I'm tardy to the party, but I wanted to let you all know. Listen, you know what? Let me give my intros. I'm Tonya TKO, self-love specialist and matchmaker from TonyaTKO.com. I hope you learn how to love yourselves and one another. Listen. On this channel, we use viral video topics as teachable moments in our own lives. What is the teachable moment here? I haven't even said what happened. So listen. Let me click on it. Let me click on it and tell you all. This is what I see. I cannot listen. This is what I see. Listen. Do you see this? Travis Dyson. Oh God. Andrew Gillum found in hotel room with male escort and crystal meth, cops say. What is happening? Listen, are there any straight men left? Ladies, are you all right out there? What the hell is going on? So I read the article. I'm going to give you the breakdown because I don't want to read it word for word. You could go search for the story yourself. This is what I'm hearing from what I read. They also reported on CNN. Remember that handsome black mayor that ran in the prime? I think he ran in the primaries. He won the primary, but he lost against someone else. Remember that he was so handsome and charismatic, doing all this talking and challenging in the media and all of that. Remember? Wow. So there's three men involved. Look, three men, right? Andrew Gillum is going to be the one in the middle. Dyson is going to be the one over here. So this guy, I don't remember his name, lent this guy his credit card to get a hotel room, right? This guy comes into the whole he gave it to this guy to get a hotel room for both of them. He comes to the hotel room and he sees Gillum in the bathroom throwing up and intoxicated, out of his mind with intoxication. Gillum in the bathroom throwing up. This guy is on the bed. So Andrew's in the bathroom throwing up. This guy is on the bed, passed out, having an overdose of methamphetamine. Why is this? How am I reporting on this story right now? This is unbelievable. So this guy is like, what in the HE double hockey sticks is going on here? He calls the cops. The cops come in. Andrew Gillum is so out of his mind on some substance that the dude can't even talk straight. Andrew is like, I came into town for a wedding. This is the apology he's giving now. I came into town for a wedding. This dude is at the hospital getting his stomach pumped or charcoal in his belly. Whatever's happening to him, we don't know. But Andrew is telling the cops he came here for a wedding. This dude is like, I don't know nothing about no wedding, right? One of them is an escort. Which one is the escort? Is the guy that gave him the hotel the escort, or the guy that was passed out on the substances the escort? I read the story very quickly before I came to turn on my camera. While I'm going to get my speaker so that we can go do a call in, I want somebody to go look up and see who is the escort, the one who gave the credit card or the one who was. What is happening? What's happening out here? And you know what? This is why I said Carlton gave bisexual men a bad name, because that man know he's really in the closet. The true bisexual man, the true down low brother, is somebody who's undetectable, boys and girls, undetectable. Let me get my speaker for the thing. I'm gonna be right back. This is just pure craziness. All right. So the phone number is 323-488-3149. We're talking about Andrew Gillum. I don't know what's going on. I really don't know what's going on out here. Listen, I don't know what's happening, but maybe you all can tell me what in the double hockey sticks is going on. I don't know what's going on. So let me get the phone lines together. He's married with children, and he's married to a lovely chocolate sister. He has these beautiful little kids. Does he have 2 children or 3? Let me know, because I saw some pictures of him and his wife. Listen, this is what I'm telling you about these Instagram relationships. You got all your pictures up on the gram talking about you living happily, and meanwhile your husband is talking about he going to some wedding and then turn up on the 6 o'clock news. Listen, boys and girls. I started typing boys and girls in the browser. I don't know what's going on. So I need somebody. Listen, so yes. So he has children. He's a family man. And I don't know what's going on. He was in the room with a male escort. Which one of them was the escort? Tell me, please. I need someone to tell me. All right? I'm turning on the phone lines right now. 323-488-3149. That is the phone number. You can go ahead and hit the like button. Oh my gracious goodness alive. Thank you, Pink. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right. Phone lines are open. 323-488-3149. Oh, you know what? Let me get the Bluetooth on. Because I don't know what is happening right now. Oh. I got to get to the Bluetooth area. Listen, knockouts. Well, we're on a new channel now. So this is my first time going live on this channel. All right. We are connected to audio. We are on. All right. This is my first caller. Listen, call in. Somebody said you said you wanted to call in. I want to hear what you got to say. 323-488-3149. The lines are open. I need you to tell me, are there any straight men left? Are there any straight men left? I need to know. So, you know what? While we're waiting for the first caller, let me start reading through. Let me read the CNN. Let me read the CNN thing so that we could get the story straight. All right, let's get the story straight. Okay? Let's get it straight. All right. All right. So here we go. All right. Andrew Gillum, the former Democratic candidate for governor of Florida And a CNN political commentator apologized on Friday after he was found inebriated by police who were responding to a possible drug overdose in a Miami hotel room he was in, according to a police report. In a statement, Gillum says that he was in Miami for a wedding celebration when officers were called to assist one of my friends. Anyway, while I had too much to drink, this is his statement. I want to be clear that I have never used methamphetamines. I apologize to the people of Florida for the distraction this has caused our movement. Oh, then he goes on and on. Listen, let me go back to the other article because I want to find out who was the escort. Let me see. All right. Travis Dyson is the 30-year-old Florida man who was found in a hotel room with Democratic politician Andrew Gillum on March 13th. Police said Dyson appeared to have suffered a drug overdose. He is conscious and in stable condition in a Miami area hospital. So he is okay. Dyson maintains a profile on a website for male escorts. Okay, listen. Listen. Dyson maintains a profile on a website for male escorts and is studying at a nurse practitioner school. Gillum has been married to R.J. Gillum since 2009. The couple have 3 children together. In 2018, Gillum, who is 40, was the surprise winner of the Democratic primary for governor in Florida. Gillum lost the general election narrowly to Ron DeSantis. Since then, Gillum has been a rising star in the Democratic Party between 2014 and 2018. Gillum served as the mayor of Tallahassee. All right. Well, you know, they talk about the 10-year itch or whatever it's called in marriage. So listen. All right. You know what? Maybe something's wrong with the phone lines because by now someone would have called. So I think something's wrong with the phone lines. Let me see. Something's wrong because let me see. Okay. I try again. Try 323-488-3149. That is the number. We are connected. So I'm going to be watching because I don't know what happened, why it didn't come through before, but I'm watching now. Right? So are there any more straight men left? Listen, I don't know what's happening in these streets. So we missed the call, but we never heard it come through. So go ahead and try again. Don't leave me hanging here. I need your thoughts. I need somebody to give me their damn thoughts. What is going on out here? What's happening in these streets? Is this a Florida man, SMH? I know, right? I don't know what's going on. So the person that was passed out is the one, but see, just because he has a profile on an escort site, does it, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Just because he has a profile doesn't mean he was tricking at the hotel, right? I mean, maybe they were partying after the wedding reception, even though this man says he didn't know nothing about no wedding. I don't know. All right. 323-488-3149. I need someone to try the phone lines at least so we can test them. And Andrew Gillum is married. He's married, working now. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
My name is Sonia.
Your name is Sonia with an S?
Yes, Sonia.
Hi, Sonia. So what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are because I remember seeing Andrew running for governor, seeing a handsome black man, seeing his wife, his kids, and as a single African-American woman, that gave me hope. So seeing this is very disappointing because I don't want to give up, on, that black love, but it's definitely very disappointing. I would have never guessed And just the way I see the picture on your thumbnail, it kind of reminds me of the Carlton situation from Love is Blind. It's like we see a different side. We see a different demeanor when he's in the picture with this guy, a different demeanor that we saw when he was running for governor, different from what we saw him with his wife and kids in pictures. It's just like, he's putting on a show and then we're seeing his real self.
So you think it's his real self that was caught in the hotel room, vomiting in the bathroom, inebriated on some substance?
I feel like he's been hiding his real self and putting on a show. I feel like
Oh,
that's definitely a side of himself that he definitely wants to hide. I mean, just that thumbnail picture, just a demeanor that just doesn't look like the pictures that we saw in the past.
I wish I could
It's
have
just
got
a
the whole
whole
photo
different.
in
It
there
just looks.
because this man is so widespread eagle in that photo. Do you see it? Mm.
Yes.
Well, honey, listen, you don't have to give up. Like I told you, I am a matchmaker. I am matching Black American women with Black men of West African descent here in the United States. So come on over to my website and send me a message because out in these
Oh,
streets.
yeah. Yeah, I'll have to. One of my best friends is marrying a Nigerian man in August, and I'm in the wedding, and I just see how happy she is. So I need to change some things up and just open up my options and be open to all my options.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Listen. Yes. Listen. Thank you so much for calling in. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
All
Bye
right.
bye.
Phone lines are open. Oh, Magic Woman says she gave up a long time ago. Hello, welcome into the chat. For those of you who are just getting here, we got the phone lines open 323-488-3149. We are talking about this newly developed and breaking story of the former mayor in Florida, this handsome, handsome Black man who police found. I can't say it. I can't even say it. Police found the man in a hotel room with a male escort who had overdosed on methamphetamine. Andrew Gillum was intoxicated out of his mind on some unknown substance. He claims in a later apology that he has never tried methamphetamine and that he was intoxicated on alcohol, I suppose. I don't know. We don't know, but the phone lines are open for you to gander. Listen. The phone lines are open for you to gander. 323-488-3149. I need to hear from a few more people. Listen, okay, well, you know what? Listen, I need you to put up a one if you want to call in and talk. If you don't want to call in and talk, put up a two. I want to see who wants to call in because I want to hear your thoughts. Somebody beckoned me to turn on the phone line. So put up those ones if you want to call in because I don't know if there's an issue with the phones or what, but I want to hear from you since you asked me to turn on. I just came out to do a quick video to give you all the news. To give you all the news. And LaWanda saying, I've been married to someone for over 12 years. I couldn't imagine I'd be in jail. You know what I'm saying? Unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Swarthy is saying, I'm officially afraid of dating an American Black man. Listen, you really have to take each person at face value. I'm not going to tell you to give up on Black American men, but just know, keep your eyes open whenever you're dealing with anyone. You know what I mean? Keep your eyes open. There's a lot going on out here, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just this is stunning. It's startling and it's frightening. I look, you all see the pictures. For those of you who don't remember what Andrew Gillum looks like, I'll show you some pictures of Andrew Gillum. I'll show you. Remember him? Remember this handsome black man who was who was who was tearing into them Republicans? And so Magic is saying, I'm all for black love, but where can I find one that is straight, not on the DL? We need real black men like now, LOL. You know, I would say, the majority. So Magic says she would call in. So call in, Magic. Call in. The phone lines are open, 323-488-3149. I want to hear from you. I don't know what's going on out here in these streets. But if no one's going to call in, then I'm jumping off. It's either you call in or I'm jumping off, because I've already given the story. The only thing more than that is you all talking. And if we're not, if there's nothing that nobody has to say, if you all are just too shooketh, then I understand. I understand. And Farrah is saying, I think the white guy was hotter. What white guy? I guess I haven't seen the pictures. Let me do a Google search. Let me do a Google search. And so Ludwig is saying, what? A real man have to be straight only for you people? I think women, listen. We're going to search. I'm looking for pictures of these guys. Let me see. I'm going to do Andrew Gillum Hotel to see if we can find pictures of these people. Oh my goodness, unbelievable. I don't see the pictures of the other people. So somebody is asking whether or not a real man is one that is straight only. You know, that's interesting, right? That's interesting. Is a real man somebody who is straight only? I mean, I can understand why a woman would want her man to be heterosexual. I can understand why a heterosexual woman would want her man to be heterosexual. You know, there's an argument out there, right? There's an argument out there that says that just because a man is attracted to men doesn't mean that he's going to be unfaithful in your relationship. However, you know, I'm going to say this, right? I'm going to say this. And you all can think that I am crazy or whatnot, right? You all know me. You see, Tonya is a big body girl. You see, Tonya is very thick and juicy, plump and curvy. That's me, right? Me personally, I wouldn't date a man. I wouldn't seriously consider dating a man who all of his women in the past have been rail thin. I wouldn't do it. Because when my roles are folding over on him, I don't want him to be like, well, what is? I want him to know and understand the full glory of the fluffy. You know what I'm saying? I need him to understand the preponderance of my preponderance, if you understand what I'm saying, right? So I can understand why a woman in general, right, would not want to be with a man whose type is completely different than she is. And if that type happens to be a man, I can understand why a woman would be apprehensive about being with a man whose type just happens to have testosterone, muscles, and a penis. I'm just going to say that, right? I'm just going to say that. Oh, we have a call coming in. Let's see. All right. We had a call coming in, but don't call me from a block number. You have my number. Don't call me from a block number. Not if you want to talk on these airwaves. There's too much trolling out here. Exactly. The full glory of the fluffy. Listen, By the time I ask a man, you know, by the time I start asking him what his previous girlfriends have been like, what he's typically attracted to, and he starts saying thin women, I say, oh no, that's not me. That's not me. If you want to call and unblock your number, let's please. All right, unblock your number. Oh, here we go. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
Oh, this is Dr. Chris.
Oh, hi, Dr. Chris. How are you? What is your comment about this whole situation?
Yeah, I mean, I've been, from a biblical standpoint, I've been, sorry if I'm a little bit out of breath. I'm just came from shopping. But
so you out there fighting for toilet paper with the rest of them?
Say again?
You out there fighting for toilet paper with the rest of them?
Yes, it's horrendous out here. Oh,
okay.
my goodness.
All right.
What
so
the heck?
go ahead. So give us your point of view, Dr. Chris.
Right, from a biblical standpoint, I was trying to warn people. The Bible says that as the days of Noah were, so shall it be when the Son of Man comes. And during the days of Noah, you had the men, straight men, having sex with men, and you also had straight women married. Well, it was the demons who married to women, and then they had these babies and they made giants. Anyway, the point I'm trying to say is that if Jesus said that that's how it would be as we would approach the end times, then that's what's happening. And so what you're going to find is a large amount of men, straight men, who are having gay sex just because they are lusting, not because they have any, a romantic feelings for these people, but because they like the way it feels. They like the way it feels for themselves, because for men to have sex, gay sex, it's just I guess it's an unparalleled feeling for them, a sensation, has something to do with their prostate. But anyway, so, that's the thing, and I've been trying to tell people, but no one wants to listen.
Okay. I don't really see how a person is going to have a particular type of intercourse if they're not attracted to that which they're having intercourse with. I don't see how that's going to work.
I mean, it's more of the feeling of it, right? It's like they're getting it for what it makes them feel, how it makes them feel, and it's a demonic stronghold.
What do you mean? What do you mean a demonic stronghold? What is a demonic stronghold?
It means that they're not being true to who they really are. They're living out, a destiny that has nothing to do with God's plan for their lives. It has to do with the devil's goal for their lives, and they're submitting, and they're yielding to the devil. They're not yielding to God. And likewise the women, because the women largely know that their men are doing this. They know their men love them, but they also know that their men are going out and doing this, and a lot of them turn a blind eye to it. It's quite unfortunate.
But I'm sorry, but what is demonic about same-sex unions?
There's nothing demonic about a same-sex union. I'm saying there's something demonic about a man having gay sex, and that's not his natural inclination.
What do you mean that's not his natural inclination? Obviously, it is his inclination if he's doing it.
Not if he's doing it just for reasons of lust, right? So, and if you notice, most of these men...
Your phone is messing up.
Sorry about that. Most of these men, it's a little windy out here.
Okay.
Most of these men within the LGBT community are known as trade, TRA. And the LGBT community knows them to be straight men. We know them to be down low men. But the LGBT community, these are men who have sex with transgender women and gay men. And they do it on a down low. They do it through these apps like Grindr and Jack.
I'm confused as to why you're calling a man who has intercourse with another man to be straight. Why are you calling him straight? That's the confusing part.
No. I'm saying, okay, so what I'm saying is there's two different types of men who have gay sex. Let's just put it this way.
Okay.
One man who has gay sex is a man who's naturally inclined to that. This is one who has romantic attachments to other men and has a, emotional connection, all that kind of thing. Then there's another man who's straight, who's having sex purely out of physical pleasure and has nothing to do with any kind of romantic attachment. And it's mostly just, it's a drawing and a pulling based on the demonic struggle. I mean, have you heard of people, like you've seen The Exorcist and movies like that, right? When people are demonically possessed, these people can't help themselves, right? The demon takes control of their body and makes them do all kinds of weird, crazy things. And so similarly, that's the kind of picture I'm drawing here.
Yeah, but see, I think that there's some confusion here because you're referring to a person who enjoys you're referring to a person who enjoys intercourse with men as straight. You're referring to a man as straight who enjoys intercourse with men, and he cannot be straight. He cannot be straight.
If that's your opinion, I'm just saying that you're going to find a whole lot more straight men engaging in gay sex, and it's just going to be the way it is. And whether you acknowledge it or not, it is the way it is. Hopefully people will acknowledge it so that they can believe Jesus to break the stronghold over these men. But if they don't, then unfortunately, their men will probably be creeping.
Oh my goodness. Dr. Chris, I'm sorry. This is very disturbing. This is very disturbing.
I'm just telling the truth.
Which part of this do you feel is the truth?
Say again?
Which part of this do you feel is the truth? A person who's heterosexual is not interested in homosexual intercourse. Now you're saying that this person
that's your prevalent idea, but haven't you heard people like Tank? Tank came out and said just because a man engages in gay sex doesn't mean that he's gay. There's a lot of people who are coming forth with these opinions, and you just all you have to do is open your, like Leonardo da Vinci once said, open your eyes, so you have only to see to understand. You either could listen to what people are saying and take them for their word, or you could just keep your ideology and push it on people.
Okay, so in your opinion, what is the definition of straight?
Okay, so basically a person who is attracted to someone of the opposite sex.
Okay. So then so according to your definition, straight is a person who is attracted to a person of the opposite sex, right?
Yeah.
So if this person is engaging in homosexual sex, correct, then how does this make that person straight, even according to your own definition?
Okay, so I'm saying that these people are attracted to women, right? But they're engaging in gay sex acts. So we're separating the sexual activity from the sexual attraction. Does that make sense?
Right. However, you know that there's different types of attraction. There's sexual attraction, there's emotional attraction. There are people who are attracted to men for romantic relationships. There are people who are attracted to women for romantic relationships. And there are people who are attracted to either or for sexual relationships. So if a person is engaged in homosexual sex, you know what Homo sapien is, right? Homo sapien is, we all know what Homo sapien is, humans. So homosexual is a person who is attracted to the same sex. If a person is having homosexual intercourse, how can this person not be attracted to the person that he's having intercourse with? That's the part that's confusing. Help me understand that. Help us understand.
All right, so think about a person who's greedy, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw a social media clip of a guy who steals from his mom, who steals from his sister. He doesn't care. You've seen heroin addicts and people who are addicted to certain steal from their parents, their siblings. They don't care what happens to them. They may even kill or maim or do certain things just for a hit. And so what I'm saying is that these people are engaging in these activities not under any kind of attraction, plainly because it makes them feel a certain type of way that they enjoy, and it's like they're addicted. And you can say they're addicted to gay sex because of the way it makes them feel. They're really being driven by their addiction, not so much by any kind of attraction.
So you're saying, so there are two different things. There's attraction or there's repulsion. So you're saying that they're engaging
There's attraction or
there's attraction and there's repulsion. So you're saying that they're engaging in homosexual sex with a person that they're not attracted to, that they're repulsed by.
That's correct. And in that case, that's a psychological issue. They may be so, but this is what they're doing. And some of them are killing transgender women, unfortunately. These people are termed down low. And, among the, most communities, they're seen as down low. But among the LGBT community, they're seen as trade, TRADE. And so everyone knows them. They know that these are people who enjoy, kind of having this gay sexual, they're really good at sex, right? Because they know it, these people. So the people who engage in sexual activities within the LGBT community enjoy the sexual activity because it makes them feel really good. But these people are not worth much more than that to them.
Okay. All right. And you know what? And I think that's where a lot of the confusion comes in. I think a lot of the confusion comes in from people allowing other people who claim to be straight under the umbrella of straightness. Because a man who is sticking his penis in man bottom hole or having his bottom hole penetrated by a man, that's not straight. That's not straight.
Right.
Anyway, thank you.
Yeah, but these are people who don't identify as straight. That's the other thing. I'm sorry, these are people who don't identify as gay. That's what I meant to say.
They don't have to identify themselves as gay. They don't. They don't have to. They don't have to identify as gay. However, they're engaging in gay sex. They're engaging in homosexual sex. So they don't have to claim the term for themselves.
But they won't admit it.
That's because
you did the video of the girl who was murdered by the guys, and they were hiding and having sex with each other. These people are doing it on the DL. They don't want anyone to know. They won't admit it.
Yeah.
And these are people who are obviously not operating like a normal person. But even a person who's in the closet at the time, and maybe, engaging in some sexual activity or whatever, they wouldn't kill anyone or anything. Usually they use those opportunities of someone finding out as a way to, to open up about, who they really are. But these people are very strange breed and dangerous.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for calling in.
Nice talking to you. Check it out.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. So phone lines are open. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name? Oops, I'm so sorry. I disconnected the phone call by mistake. I'm so sorry. Call back in. I'm so sorry. I clicked the button by mistake. I'm so sorry. Call back in 323-488-3149. Yeah, you know what? I'm not one to really like labels myself, but we have people out here faking the funk, and we have people allowing them to fake the funk. If you're being penetrated by man or penetrating man, that's you're not straight. I'm sorry. You're not straight, and I'm sorry. You're on the air. You're not straight, and I'm sorry. Hold on, I'm trying to reconnect. Okay, you're on the air live. What's your name? Hold on, I'm trying to reconnect. All right, listen, when you call in and you hear that I answer on the phone, please turn down your computer. Let's not, you know what? Let's not play that. We know better than that already now. All right, turn on your computer and just talk to the phone, because that's where you're on, because there's going to be a little bit of a delay. So the phone lines are open, 323-488-3149. We just had a caller, Dr. Chris, call in and tell us that we are living in the old paradigm of believing that a man who gets penetrated or penetrates a man but he is emotionally attracted to women, that person is straight according to them and other people. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
How your relationship close? You ain't got no man.
All right. So the phone lines are open 323-488-3149. You play on my phones, you'll get blocked. I don't have the time for the foolishness. I have no time for it. All right, you're blocked. All right. Find yourself a new phone number then and call in from the new phone number. Next caller, 323-488-3149. We don't have the time for foolishness. So look, we're all adults here. My average viewer is 35 years old. We're talking about a very serious situation right now. Andrew Gillum, the former mayor in Florida, was found in a hotel room with an overdosed male escort. And we're talking about this right now. Many Black women have said that they feel like giving up, but have no fear. Come over to my website, TonyaTKO.com. Send me a message. I am doing pre-interviews right now and inducting people into my database and for my new matchmaking service. So phone lines are open. I just missed a phone call, but a phone call from a person in Florida. So I want to hear. So you all know, the people in Florida know Andrew. Listen, I don't know what's going on in these streets. 323-488-3149. Phone lines are open. Yeah. So for those of you who are just joining in, Andrew Gillum, the person, I believe he just ran for governor of Florida, but he was mayor. He was found in a hotel room with a male escort and another man. The escort was... You're on the air live. What's your name?
Yeah.
Yes, hi, how can I help you?
How your relationship close? What you saying?
So listen, we have the phone lines open 323-488-3149. You want me to give your phone number out on the air? Why are you playing on my phone waves? Do you want me to publish your phone number publicly? Don't play on my phone. Listen, we are not children, and I'm not here for this foolishness. You're on mute right now, so they can't hear you, but you can hear me. Come off of the phone. It's not funny. It's foolishness. Do you all want this person's phone number? Let me know. This is why I don't accept from unknown callers. You can, for every number that you think that you can get, I can just block down each one until you are out of phone numbers. Try me. Nonetheless, phone lines are open 323-488-3149. All right, there we go. And another one bites the dust. Okay. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
And I'm calling in to piggyback off of the doctor who called in. And I was watching your live. I am watching your live, and it's just mind-boggling to me how Black men get to sleep around with men, they get to sleep around with women, and it's almost as we as Black women, we have to choose. Now, based on what the doctor was saying, I was watching another video not too long ago, and it was by a man in the gay community, Walter Lee Hampton.
Okay.
He has a YouTube channel, and he was talking about how erectile dysfunction is hitting over 50% of Black males due to several issues,
Okay.
drugs, eating bad, all types of things, stress, financial issues, and stuff like that. So what he was saying as being a gay black man, he was saying that, you know, a lot of these men, you know, they just want their prostate to be stimulated. And I think that's what the doctor was, you know, trying to get at a little bit with that.
Mm-hmm.
But when you did your video with the gentleman from Love is Blind and how he went off on this black woman because he wanted her to accept that he was bisexual. I've been in that situation. I was married to a man who was bisexual. And well, I didn't know that he was until I caught him in that particular situation. But what are we as black women going to do when this is so prevalent in our community and it's being mass produced? It's either interracial or he's with the same sex. And I agree with you 100% that if you are having sex with the same person, the same sex, that you are not straight. But they can put on that persona to get with a woman. And they can also put on the persona as being homosexual to get with a man. So in my situation, I didn't know, and with a lot of black women, we don't know. So your dating service that you're putting out is essential to us because we know that at least on the African continent, that is not something, is something that is illegal in a lot of their countries.
Yeah, but you know what? Hold on. Let's discuss that. Let's discuss that. Just because something is illegal doesn't mean that a person doesn't have the proclivities or the inclinations. Just because something is outlawed doesn't mean that their testicles don't get to fibrillating when they see a bulky chest. So outlawing it is not the answer to me. Outlawing it is not going to stop a person's natural nature.
So you do believe that homosexuality is a natural nature?
I believe that they're just like, I remember the very first time that I was attracted to a boy, I was 7 years old. So nobody had to tell me, oh, Tonya, you're supposed to be with boy. No one had to tell me that. I was about 7 years old when I first realized that I wanted a boy to be my boyfriend. And not just in a friendly kind of way, but like our boyfriend, like we were gonna be exclusive. I was about 7 years old. And I knew that there was a different type of interest that I had in a boy than I did in platonic friendships. So there are some people who are gay for pay. There's some people who's gay for the
Yes.
stay. There's some people who can flip the switch back and forth. And there's some people who, when they were very young, they realized that there was something a little bit different about them, but maybe it was outlawed. Because listen, what you don't want to do is you don't want to put people in a position where they cannot legally be with who they want to be with. Because look, just like how you see Andrew Gillum was found in a hotel room with an escort. Look, there's a lot of time in the day. And if a person has a feeling for something, they're gonna find a way to get that. They're gonna find a way to get that.
Mm.
And so outlawing it is not gonna stop people from their testicles twinkling. You know what I'm saying? The only thing it's gonna do is just cause arrest for what people are naturally gonna do. And then those people who are making those laws are the ones who feel the fibrillation themselves. So no, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. And I think I do personally think.
So,
Go ahead.
no, I was going to say, so what I'm asking is it something, okay, so what I'm by what you're just saying, is it okay for me as a black woman, okay, to expect that it's a possibility that at one point in a relationship with a heterosexual man or a man that I thought was heterosexual decides that he wants to be with a man?
Hey, listen, and I'm going to say this, right? I'm going to say this. Me personally, I would rather a man have tried it and know that he doesn't like it than to be curious about it and be wanting to try it. I would rather that, me personally. Now, a person with
Okay,
the
I
with the
understand.
with the ongoing back and forth action, and he dated two men, then one woman, and two women, then one man, and then serial monogamy from one relationship to the next. That I wouldn't be interested in a situation like that. But if a man told me that he in the past thought that that was something he wanted to try, or he was young, or an older neighbor, or whatever, I would rather that. Me personally, the way I feel about it, I honestly think that there's something going on in our food source. I think that there's a lot of estrogenics that are being pumped into us in this country. I believe that there's something going on with the explosion of autism in boys and
Yes.
the proliferation, all of these people who are now coming out with wavering sexualities and genders. I think there's something going on this planet, on this in this country. That's how I feel. I think something is happening.
I believe that too. I believe that too. But still, why is it affecting our men more so than it's affecting our women?
What you
Because
talking about?
we as women, we know what we want, and
Listen, hold on,
it's
hold on.
being pumped into us. Go ahead.
Hold on. I'm so sorry. I hate to cut you off. It's just that time is limited because we're at 51 minutes right now. These estrogenics are affecting Black women as well. I think the number is as high as 60% of us have uterine fibroids from an overabundance of estrogen in our system. What does estrogen do
That's
to the
true.
male body? What does that do when a person has estrogen inside of them? What does it do to him? You know what I mean? So it is
Yes.
affecting us.
Okay. Well, I'm just, trying to figure out, what can we do as Black women to be ensured, because the rate of STDs that can be um, contracted by having homosexual sex, and it's high. It's at 60%, and that's why we're the number one people dying from HIV and
Yeah,
all
and
these
you
type
know
of things
what?
that are
Part
going
of the
on.
reason
It's
that that's
almost like we just have
happening.
to accept it, not to be lonely.
Well, you know what? There's a lot going on with that. There's a lot going on with that, right? It's a cocktail, like a perfect storm. One,
I
the
agree.
machoistic nature of Black men and this hyper masculinity. Two, the shame that is brought upon men who decide to like other men. Three, the fact that Black women and our esteem is so low that we will accept men running up in us raw when we don't effing know them. And four, the fact that people feel that it has to be hidden for people to be bisexual or whatnot. So all of those things together, because listen, a man can go from this. So see, because listen, women still have to let men up inside of them raw. Men have to lie about who it is that they truly are. And they also have to be engaging in high risk, unprotected intercourse themselves. So it's just a recipe for disaster. It's just a recipe for disaster.
Well, I want you to look at this channel. His name is Walter Lee Hampton, and he was talking about a friend of his, a female friend of his, and she works out at the same gym that he works out at. And the gentleman that she was dealing with, she kept going back to the doctor, and she caught syphilis, gonorrhea, and she also caught HIV. And he speaks about how a lot of these gay men are dealing with women, whether the race, to have children, or because at that particular time they may not be able to find somebody who is interested in them, but they're still engaging in all types of different sex parties and orgies and all types of things that are going on. So what the doctor was saying, I'm not a religious person, but it has, like you even said, it has to be something more than just this is how you were born. It has to be something that is more spiritual or just not right, because I know that you come from a man and a family, and I know you said your father is from Nevis, and I know you come from a strong man and a strong mother, and this is not something that I know for a fact is going to be tolerated in your home or would never be tolerated. So I'm trying to figure out how, as we, as Black women, this is something that we can continue to accept, because we also have to realize it's over, 2 million more Black women than there are Black men. So
Says
either
who?
we,
Go post it. Wait,
match
excuse
up
me.
and get with
Wait, excuse me.
Nigerian
Excuse
men
me.
or
Hold
men
on.
from
Hold on.
African
Hold on, Mama.
continent.
Where are you getting these numbers from? That there's 2 million more Black women than Black men. Where are you getting that number?
You can just go ahead and look that up.
No, listen.
You can go
Because
to Labor, Department of Labor,
from what it is that I've
that
looked
Black
up at
women
CDC.
are 65% more of the Black
Listen,
Black women
your
are
numbers are off, because
the,
according to census.gov, numbers across the board are about 50-50. About 50-50. There's only I forget how many Black people there are in the United States. To say that there's 2 million more women than men, I'm going to have to see that from census.gov.
Any Black person who's listening to this chat will say that ever since I'm 42 years old and ever since I was a young girl, we have only been 13% of the population. So that means that we have not populated. My mother has 30 grandchildren, so I know we have populated. I don't know about everybody else, but those, I don't go by those numbers, but I do know based on homosexuality and based on
but you know what?
incarceration
I know, but listen, hold on. I can tell you right now, I'm on census.gov right now, right? And I can tell you that there are, all right, so we are 13.4% of the population. Let me tell you.
Not.
I'm sorry?
I can tell you how we're not. We're not. I was married to an Egyptian man for 15 years. This man is considered Caucasian in the United States of America. It depends on who they consider white based on their education. Okay, so even if you fill out a regular job application, which you're an entrepreneur, you probably haven't done in a long time.
I'm sorry, did he identify as white? Did he identify as white?
It doesn't matter what he identified as. It says if you're from this part of Africa, you are considered Caucasian in the United States. That's what you have to put down. I'm an Iroquois Indian. My husband that just passed away is an Algonquin Indian, but because I'm dark skinned, I have to identify as African American because I don't have the information that will prove who I am.
So what you're saying is that
I do it based off a story.
What you're saying is that when the census people came to your place, that you told them that you identify as something, and they decided to mark you down as something else, and you saw them mark this down, and you allowed them to leave your home with that marking on. Is that what you're saying?
No, I've just always been told that I was African American until I listened to a gentleman by the name of Diane Calloway. And I asked my father, and he said no.
Thank you so much. You know what we're going to do, because the call we're going to allow some other people to call in. So I really appreciate you taking the time out to speak with us. We've been on the phone for almost 16 minutes. So I'm going to allow some other people to call in. Okay, thank you so much.
No problem.
All right. All right, so phone lines are open. Listen, we're going to take another phone call before we jump out of here. Somebody is saying that Egyptian men are not African. Egyptian men, it depends on, Egypt is a country. Egypt is a country in Africa. Anybody born in Egypt is African. The person may not be Negroid, but the person is African. A country is just one thing. The ethnicity, the race are different things. So phone lines are open. All right. Listen, I don't like to broadcast much more than an hour, and we are coming upon an hour right now. We're going to take one last phone call, and then we're going to jump out of here because I have been thrown for a loop today. I tell you that much. I've been thrown for a loop. So if we want to say that there are more eligible Black women than there are Black men, that's one thing. But to say that there are more is a whole other. And then, listen, you're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name?
Queen.
Yeah, hi, Queen. How can we help you today?
Well, I just wanted to make a comment that I do agree that because a lot of Black men or Black men in general are shamed in society because of their sexuality or even to explore their sexuality, that it kind of leaves room for us to shame them and block them out. And that's why I do think that a lot of them are doing it in secrecy, and getting married and then living these false lives because, it's not accepted. And so
yeah, but you know what?
I think that
there's a person in the chat by the name of Dipped in Indigo who says that they don't have to lie, they choose to lie. And if homosexuality is not outlawed in this country, then why are they still lying? There's people in whole gay marriages right now, but why are they lying?
yeah, that is true. I do think that there is a lot more acceptance surrounding it at this point. But I still think that they are disproportionately targeted as well. So, even though it is some changes that are happening, it's like, I guess it's not happening as fast as we would like it to happen.
Yeah, but let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question.
You can be out. You can.
Let me ask you this question, though, and I want you to answer honestly, and I want you all to answer honestly inside of the chat as well. Just because a person says that they are bisexual doesn't mean that you have to accept them. I think part of the reason that they're lying is because they want to be able to have access to you without diminishing their chances by, like, if they could have had the same exact chance with being honest, then they would most likely be honest. But the fact that they are less attractive to heterosexual women, like a man who has been plowed up his rectum by another man, he's less attractive to Black women.
So let me just say this. I don't think it's right for, them to hide this. I mean, if you are who you are, I do think that you should come out and be who you are. I don't think it's right for them to hide who they are. But I think that's partially the reason why they aren't coming out. Not to not be accepted. I mean, well, I can't speak for everyone. I just feel like that's part of the reason why.
You know what? I've had an epiphany.
They aren't going to be accepted and they're going to be shamed for it, and they might be targeted and attacked. I mean, anything can happen at that point.
I've had an epiphany. I've had an epiphany, and I'm so glad we did this live show because I've had an epiphany as we were having this conversation. I have now changed my position. I've changed my position. I don't think that they're lying because they think that they're going to be targeted. I think that they're lying because they still want access to your wombs. They want children. They want children, and they want the healing that Black women give them, and they want what a only a uterus can give them. And they still want to be able to get dick on the side, suck dick on the side, take dick up on the inside, and shove their penis inside someone else's anus, and still be able to operate under the cloak of heterosexuality. But if they
But it's just like I feel like the same type of view then should be also towards women who do the same thing, who engage in homosexual activity, on the side or with their partner. You know what I mean? It shouldn't just be across the board. Like we shouldn't be biased to men who do it.
You know what the issue is? There are look how many lesbian couples are living with biological children right now. It's because semen is cheap. Like there's you know how many like I see homosexual women. Well,
yeah, but you have bisexual women, you have women who are considered fluid.
Right.
So they're, these women are also, dipping and dabbling. So if we're going to shame the guys and say they shouldn't do this, then the women shouldn't do it either.
Who
but
says
it's
that men
happening
should
on
be
both
shamed?
sides.
Who says that men should be shamed? I'm not saying that men should be shamed.
I don't think that you're saying that, but I'm saying that's what's happening, but it's not equal. Like, it's not happening on both sides.
So listen. If you have an issue with men being shamed and targeted, look at men. Men are the ones who think that penis is so dirty that if anybody listen to what it is that I'm saying, if anyone accepts penis, they are dirty. Anyone, male and female, because men have dirtied dick. They've dirtified dick. So that anybody who enjoys taking dick is considered dirty. If you're a woman who enjoys taking dick, you're a slut, a thot, a whore. Especially if you're Black. Black dick is the dirtiest of them all to Black men. So if we really want to get into it, the people who are targeting, transgender
Black
people,
sexuality is targeted.
I'm sorry, give me just 1 second. The people who are targeting transgenders, the people who are beating up other gay men, these are men. And the closer you get to Black, and then when it comes to Black men, the more targeted you're going to be. So go ahead.
That's true. That's true. I do agree with that. That's true. I mean, I don't think that that's the only issue. Of course, there's a lot of issues as to why this is happening, and I feel like now it's being talked about more. Like even this conversation that we're having now wouldn't have been had, years ago, not like on a broader platform like this. So it's good that we're talking about it now.
Yes, and you know what? Women are on a pedestal. Your worth goes up when you're with a woman. And that goes for anyone. There's no woman on the face of history who has ever been made dirty by being with women. You could be with 100 women and your worth does not go down. You could be with 4 men and you're considered a whore.
That's true. I agree with that.
And this has been made the way that it is in the patriarchy. Men do not value their penises. And so there are plenty of women who are in gay relationships right now who, when they want to have a child, they just go out there. You could go to a party and get a man and his semen right there at the damn party. You could be walking down the street.
I just feel like I just feel like there's a lot more men that explore that we just don't know about. And I'm not sure how we get to know more about that if we're not, if these things are happening to where they are, like an outcast.
Yeah, but you know what? In this day and age,
trying to be a solution.
In this day and age, they are no longer outcasted. They're not outcasted anymore. Especially after you've grown, it's a personal choice of cowardice to try to live some fake life. And I'm telling you, it's not because they're shamed. It's not because they're shamed. It's because they choose to lie. They
Yeah,
choose.
but I'm saying, I feel like if men could even come out and say that they've had an encounter, which is not likely, men can't even come out and say they've had an encounter. You know, women
Listen.
can
Hold
come out
on.
and
I'm
say that.
sorry.
That's
Tell
more
me your name again
accepted.
so I know how to refer to you.
Excuse me?
Tell me your name again so I know how to refer to you.
Queen.
Okay, Queen. No woman is obligated to accept a man who takes dick, sucks dick, or gives dick to other men. No woman
I don't think that they are. I agree
Right.
with that.
So
I think that it's a choice. I think that I agree that there should be a choice, but I'm saying, how do we even get this information from them?
you know what? You can have a conversation, but the thing is, this is what it is that I'm saying that I feel is not penetrating, right? They have the opportunity to speak up if they want to. They can live their truth if they choose to. They choose not to. If a grown person is choosing to hide who it is that they are, they're hiding who it is that they are out of choice. After you leave your parents' house and you can pay your own bills, who can force you to stay in the closet? The issue is that semen is cheap. If a woman wants to have a baby, she can go to a party, get some dick and semen that very night. She can get pregnant. All she got to do is be ovulated and go get some dick and semen and then go get pregnant and have her baby. If a man wants to have a baby, it's not that simple. So he has to be in relationship with woman. He has to at least be around for 9 months until the baby comes out. And this is why he is choosing out of selfishness to hide who it is that he is. Because he wants all of the benefits of being with a woman while also being able to take dick.
You feel like all men who are taking dick, they're lying because they want a child? Or I don't think
every man
they want to have sex.
Every man who is living on the down low and living his life in a relationship with a woman pretending to be straight.
I feel like they just want to live a lie. They want to be seen in society one way, as a manly man, as a heterosexual man. That's how they want to be viewed.
And that's his choice.
In society.
That's his choice. He doesn't have to get married. Why is he getting married? Why is he getting married? He doesn't have to be married. He could just, why don't he just live single?
Acceptable.
No, living single is what's most acceptable.
That's true. I don't think,
especially when it comes to black men.
Right.
Listen, only 21% of black men get married. Only 21%. So if you're living on the down low, married, you're doing that because out of greediness. You want to be able to take dick and still have the benefits of being in a long-term committed relationship with a woman.
Right, I do feel, I agree with that, because I do feel like there's benefits to that. So that's accurate.
But let me tell you this, because this is what it sounds like to me. It sounds like you're saying if only women were more accepting of their gayness, they would be more apt to come out and let us know that they have gay proclivities. That's what it sounds like you're saying to me. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, I'm not. No, because I don't believe that this is the responsibility of women, and only black women at that. That's not what I'm saying. I feel like in society, like sexuality, anything that has to do with blackness and sex, it's shamed, whether it's a man or a woman, whether it's a black man or a black woman. So there's just a lot of shame and guilt surrounding sex when it comes to black sexuality.
Okay.
But it's not the black woman's responsibility to solely be like, okay, now I'm going to accept all of this that I was taught to be ashamed of. Now we're going to accept this just so that you guys can be honest with us. No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, then so who is forcing them to stay in the closet? Who?
I don't think anybody is forcing them to stay in. Nobody is forcing you to do anything. Life is a choice.
I know, but so then what is this call? What is this call about? Because you said at several points during the phone call that it's not acceptable for them to be able to come out.
I don't think it's fully acceptable acceptable. I mean, we all know that there's laws that's here that has been passed. Like now you have gay marriage and like there's a lot more
All right, thank you so much for
awareness
calling in,
surrounding the
Queen. I
LGBT.
appreciate you calling in. I appreciate it. Thank you. We've been on the phone for almost 15 minutes. I'm going to let you go. Thank you. I'm happy that these phone calls are recorded so that we can play them back and hear when the story is changing. The story, look, the story is changing. We can all hear that. So listen, anyway, I appreciate every single person who calls in because you lend to the conversation. I appreciate it, right? I appreciate it. So, all right. I want to take one last phone call from a person who I'll take one last phone call. I'll take one last phone call. I just had an epiphany during this conversation about the pure selfishness of men who lie about their sexuality. Because we are in a patriarchy where men rule supreme. We're in a patriarchy where men make the rules. And nobody is forcing any grown man to stay in the closet. He can have the courage to be like, you know what? I was, I don't know how many of you remember Desperate Housewives. There was a woman by the name of Bree. I really loved her character. V. Vanderkamp, I believe her name was. I forget her name in real life, right? She was the redhead one. She had a son. And the son said that he was bisexual. And he said, you know what? Sometimes I like chocolate. Sometimes I like vanilla. He said that it's like ice cream. Sometimes you're in the mood for this type of flavor. Sometimes you're in the mood for that. And I had an associate who was bisexual, big football, burly football playing man. You're on the air live. Hold for just a moment. I'm going to come to you. Okay? All right? Yeah. I need you to turn off your computer and talk to me through the phone. I need you to hold on for just a moment while I make this point, right? He was like, sometimes I like vanilla, sometimes I like chocolate. And I knew this guy who was bisexual, right? He was a black man, big, burly football player. You would have never known by looking at him that he was bisexual. And he liked to have intercourse with men. He liked to have intercourse with women. He liked to watch straight porn, and he also liked to watch trans porn. He also liked to watch gay porn. And I was like, well, what's the difference, right? And he said, sometimes you're just not in the mood to see a vagina. And when you're watching straight porn, you're going to see pum pum spread open right in your face. He said, sometimes you're just not really in the mood to see vagina. That was him. And what is the matter with a man coming out and really holding his truth and being brave enough to deal with the fallout? If a woman doesn't want to be with you because you take dick and vagina, it's not the right woman for you. All right, you're on the air live. What's your name?
Sorry, but I muted my phone. My name is George.
Hi, George.
I'm so incensed and upset. I'm sorry. I'm so incensed and upset by this because I'm sorry. I'm 52 years old, and maybe I'm just stuck in my mindset. But what I've been hearing, especially from women, are excuses for homosexuality when it just needs to be what it is. If you're not interested in a woman, don't be with that woman and make babies and a life with her, which is a lie. I don't understand that.
Exactly.
And I'm like, and to me, I'm sorry, there is no such thing really as bisexuality. What I see is selfish people doing selfish things and wanting to have their cake, your cake, and the other person's cake. You're not supposed to say anything about it. You're just supposed to accept it. Well, you knew what it was when you met me. Well, that's you told me the truth. And what is really incensed me about people like this. I don't believe in down low folks and whatnot. What I believe in, there's just selfish, lying people who do selfish, terrible things and hope that they don't get caught.
Okay. But is bisexuality really there for you to believe in if that's not your proclivity? You don't have to believe in it, but the people who feel it, they believe in it.
And I agree, and that's why it comes back to individuality. I mean, if that's what you believe, fine. I just don't, because to me, what I see is your actions in the end are going to hurt someone. Now, if you want to date someone and it's all non-committal and whatnot, it's fine. But when you want to be committed to someone, you want to make a life with someone, and you still have these proclivities, are you really being fair? Are you really being honest? And I know that some people like to bring it down to cheating is cheating. That's fine too. Again, I would rather know that you're cheating with a man than to be cheating with a woman. Again, that's my individuality of it. And I just think it looks a lot worse on a man when he does that to a wife and children.
Why do you think that it's a lot worse for men?
No, I'm saying it is worse for men, not less worse. It's more worse, because as a man, you're seen as the paragon of virtue. It's your job to make families and to build up our community. And then to sit up here and do that, and then maybe 5 or 10 years down the road, you want to go, well, I'm not attracted to you anymore. I want to be with this person. And now you have to explain that to your wife and your children that you just switched over to something else entirely. No, it's more worse on men. No, I'm not one of those people where everything a woman does, it looks worse on a woman. No. As far as sexuality goes, I think anything that a man does looks worse on him.
I'm not understanding though, because both people can leave their partners, but why is it worse for a man?
Sure. Well, like I say, once again, it's because that you are a man. As a man, you're supposed to be the head of the household. In my perception,
Mm-hmm.
you're the head of the household. You are the one who proposes to this woman. You are the one who starts this family. That's what you are, the one who makes this all goes.
Okay.
So for you to sit up and go, I'm going to go a whole new different direction with a whole new gender of person. No, it looks worse on that man. As far as the woman goes, what can I do?
Okay. All right.
No, like I said, I'm a traditionalist. A man proposes to a woman. A man starts his family. A man nurtures and everything in his family. No, when he makes something, when he makes a decision like that, no, sir, you have ruined everything.
But what about those relationships? What about those relationships where the woman just doesn't want to let? I was in college with this woman. She would not let this man go. No matter how many times he broke up with her, she would not let him go. She was just always there. She would barge her way in. She fought to keep that relationship. And she wore him down and they ended up getting married. So what about in a situation like that? And then what if he turns around one day and he's like, you know what? I'm just really not in the mood for vagina anymore. Then what? If she's the one who pursued the relationship and wouldn't let him go and be with anyone else?
To me, from the start, it's like, if he's already iffy about things right there, you should have gotten out. I mean, you can only accept what you want to accept. That's what I've learned in life. You can only accept what you want to accept. If you keep accepting someone who's telling you, hey, I'm kind of iffy on vagina, and you still keep coming back, that's on you, because he's told you.
Well, no, not saying that he's iffy. Not saying that he's iffy on vagina, but he was just iffy on the relationship, because there's so many relationships that I see now who there's so like every man doesn't propose. Some people just they stay together long enough. The man never really proposes, or she pushes for the relationship. She's like, what are we? And he's like, I told you I didn't want a relationship. And there's so many relationships now where women are really in relationships with people who are just not good fits for them for many reasons. And those relationships just
And
continue to progress.
but really, is that a progression? I mean, to me personally, that's stagnation. And that person needs to realize if that person does not want to be with you, you have to have a physical and I would think a spiritual awakening in you to know that that person doesn't want you anymore. You just need to go on. Sometimes when
Right.
you
But
set up
hold on, George. Hold on for
a
1 second, George.
contentment,
Hold on, George. Hold on. How many of
okay,
us, the audience here, knows whether or not Andrew Gillum's wife is the one that pushed for them to get married? How many of us knows whether or not she's the one who was like, "Oh, I'm on birth control and let me ride it"? None of us really know. So if your premise is that it's worse for a man because he's the one who proposed and got the relationship started and did all this, that, and the other, that we really don't know. That's nullified by many relationships that many of us have seen. How many, let me ask you ladies out there, put up the number 3 if you know of a relationship right now where the woman is more interested in keeping and holding the relationship than the man is. Put up a 3. Put up the number 3 if you know of a relationship where a woman is the one who, no matter how dirty he is, she keeps taking him back. No matter how he goes out there in the street, she keeps taking him back. No matter how much he got cold feet, she keeps pressing for the relationship. Put up a number 3 if you know a relationship like that. So the 3s are coming in. So it's like every relationship is not pursued by a man. Every relationship is not proposed to by a man. So then how does that affect your theory?
it affects my theory just like he's saying. If you keep putting out, if you keep accepting what I put out, that's on you because you don't have to. I mean,
Okay.
you're sitting up here. I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, if I done told you I don't want to be married, if I done told you I don't like vagina all the time and whatnot, you still stay there after I've told you in my actions and whatnot, and you still want to be there. That's on you because you have to explain that to God and everyone else when this is over.
Okay.
No, that's all.
I'm
Because
talking
to
I'm
me,
talking about your theory where you said
what
that
I'm
it's
hearing
much
about the
worse.
Gillum thing is that she had an agenda. Sounds like to me she had an agenda. Maybe this relationship worked for the both of them on a level that we don't know about.
Right, but when you first came on the phone, your theory was that it's worse for a man to leave to squeeze out from his family and go be with another man because you said the man is the head of the household. The man is the one who pursues the relationship. The man is the one who proposes. And we just said that we know of many relationships where it's the woman who is in pursuit. So how does that affect whether or not it's worse for a man to go out and be bisexual than a woman?
It isn't. That's why to me it always looks worse on a man because when it starts to break down, the man is going to be blamed for it.
Okay.
That's why I say it looks worse. Because the first time everybody's gonna go, what did he do? You know, in my world, is what did he do? It's never what did she do. Usually, the He-Man Women Haters Club is the first one that says, what did she do?
Okay, got you.
The logical.
All right. Well, you know what? I appreciate you calling in. Thank you, George. Thank you.
I appreciate it. Love the show.
All right. Thank you. All right. So we're going to turn off the phone lines. We've been on for an hour and a half. We've talked about this whole Andrew Gillum situation front and back, and we've had people call in from many different spectrums of opinion, from people who thinking that men who take penis are straight to people who think that we don't allow men to speak their truth. And then a person who says that it's worse for a man. And then another person who says that that black women outnumber black men. So what are we gonna do when that is not the case? According to the Census Bureau, populations of male and female always teeter around 50%, except in Asia, where they purposely were aborting female children, and now they have a surplus of 14 million males than females, and there is a crisis like never before in India and in China. All right. So listen, I appreciate all of you calling in. Thank you. You have brightened my day and my world. Make sure that you share this new page with your friends, families, loved ones, and associates. This is my new page, Tonya TKO TV. We are starting anew on this page. Make sure that you are subscribed because this is a new page. So even if you're seeing me in my feed, you may be subscribed to the old page. You have to make sure that you are on this page and that you're subscribed to this page and that you have the bell notifications turned on. I am a life coach and a self-love specialist. I have a certification in clinical hypnotherapy as well as in matchmaking, and I'm starting my matchmaking service connecting Black American women with African descended men who are in the United States, and I am sending you all out on dates and so that you can see what's out there in different communities. You know, listen, I'm telling you, once you start dating an African man, you will never come back. You will never come back. You will be like, why did I deal with all of this nonsense to begin with? You will get spoiled. You will be revered. You will be catered to. You will be able to have a conversation with a person who you can really dive in deep to have a conversation with, you know, without all of the ego. And I have found that disagreeing with African men is so fulfilling because you get an opportunity to really express yourself and hear what they have to say and really dive in deep. I find that, you know, when people are really when they have hair triggers and you say something, you know, they could fly off the handle at you and you really can't really dive into the heart of many matters. So and then also with African men, they come back. They come back. You can argue and they come back. They come back. They come back. They always come back. It's like it's weird. It's like I think it's a part of the culture that they don't hold on to all this stuff and grudges and all of that. They come back. They come back. So come over to my website and inquire about matchmaking. $99 to get into the database. And I will see you on my website, TonyaTKO.com. All right. So listen, I will talk to you all later. Thank you all for coming out, and I'll see you in the next video. Send me those messages, TonyaTKO.com. Click on the contact area. Send me these stories. Just keep me up to date, because sometimes I should be minding my own little business and just living and chilling, and then something like this comes across my newsfeed. I want to hear your thoughts, even if you come into this video after we've been on live. All right? Oh, Amy is saying her mom married one and the intentions weren't 100%. You know what? And so, listen, sometimes we women, you know, sometimes we're like, oh, you broke my heart. And sometimes we have to really sit down and look at ourselves. And hold on. Listen. If you listen, I'm sorry. This is my channel, right? If you want to promote your videos and your channel, find your base. Promote your videos, find your base. Don't try to ride on the work of other people. Like I said, this is a new channel. This channel was monetized within 1 week. Remember, we did the numbers. Remember, we did that about a week ago. We sat down right before I made this new channel, and I said, you know what? I have to get 4,000 hours, 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours. 4,000 hours is 240,000 watch minutes, right? I had to create videos, promote the videos, send the videos out to my fan base that I've been growing over 12 years. Don't try to be a succubus. Don't try to come to my channel to promote. Get your people, but don't ride off of my people to get yours. Even my knockouts over here, it's tacky and it's inappropriate. You know, we all have videos. I don't go to anybody else's videos telling them to come over to mine. I don't do that. I build mine organically. Get your Facebook page, get your friends and your family to share your stuff, Anyway, nonetheless, sometimes we break our own hearts because we don't ask questions. How difficult is it to ask a person, are you marrying me for me? Are you marrying me for paperwork? I do not play those effing games. I met many a men when I was in Ghana and I was in Nigeria, and I was straight the hell up with them. Sometimes we women are so desperate for a relationship or so desperate for a situation that we don't ask the tough questions, that even when we know the tough answers, we don't want to pay attention to it because we want to have an Instagram love. We want to be able to post up pictures. We want to be able to show off to our friends and family. We want to be able to finally invite somebody over for Thanksgiving. And it's like, we all know, listen. And I had to come to grips with this myself. Because, you know, I just spent a month in West Africa, where there were a lot of men who liked me. Some of them was looking, listen, you all know, some of them was looking delicioso. But as a woman, you have to ask yourself the question about the power dynamic. Because if you're with a person who cannot, this is why the people that I'm connecting are all in America already. And we have to ask the tough questions about their citizenship. So nonetheless, you have to think about the power dynamic. If you're with a person who cannot sustain themselves without you, who cannot say no to you, are you really in a relationship? I remember when I was displaced and I was living in my car, there was a guy who wanted me to start dating him. He really liked your girl. And listen, I'm telling you, there's no woman out there who really has to sleep in her car if she doesn't want to, especially when you look like this. Oh Lord, with the chiseled cheeks, you see this? Ooh, I got natural contouring on my face, boys and girls. Listen. And I know you didn't see Mama Tombo back there. I know you didn't seen it. I know, right? No woman has to really stay in her car. But there was this guy. He wanted to be with me. And I had to explain to him, I said, listen, I'm living in my car right now. And I said, if a person does not have the ability to say no, they do not have the ability to say yes. If you cannot say no, you cannot consent. It is not consent if a person does not have the ability to say no, thank you, right? And so if you're in a relationship with a person where there's this tremendous power dynamic, where you're making more money than them, you have the citizenship, you have all of this power, and you're in this relationship with them, you have got to be brave enough. Remember, we started talking about men being brave enough to talk about their sexuality. We women, we have to be brave enough to ask questions that we may not want to know the true answers to. And if you're dating any man where there's a tremendous power dynamic, you have got to be realistic about it. You really do. You've got to be realistic about it. So if there's anybody who was in a relationship with a person of West African descent and this person used them for citizenship and all this other stuff, I would have to say that person, we have to ask whether or not that person asked the tough questions. Because one thing that I have found from dealing with grown men, like after you're past the teenage stage, like where their little twigs and berries, where they're just gyrating down there hoping for release. Once you're past the teenage stage, most men will be honest with you. And if he's not, that's when you need to use your female intuition. So you ask a man a question and you sit there and you let it rest on your intuition. Ask the questions, but many of us are not asking the question because we're so desperate to be able to get a person. And some of us, let me just say this out loud and then we'll jump out of here, right? Some of us are actually attempting to use this to our advantage. where we are hoping to be able to manipulate a man into being with us forever. So we're like, this nigga can't do better than me. This nigga ain't got his citizenship. I'm going to hold this over his head. This nigga don't got money. I'm going to hold this over his head. I'm going to force him. I'm going to force him to be mine. Listen, I'm going to force him to be faithful. You hold it over his head. And then the moment that this mother effer can go, he runs from you. He runs from you. Because let me tell you, a man is not going to leave a situation that he wants to be in. He ain't going to leave that situation. He's going to leave a situation that he does not want to be in. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. Men are very, you know what, especially when it comes to men for the most part, right? Listen, and how many of us, I'm going to tell you when it comes to men, and how many of us are traveling back to these people's hometowns, seeing what they really living and looking like and all this and the other. How many of us are really getting paired up with somebody who isn't equal to us? When you go and you find yourself a project or some builder bum, you doing that because that's what you want to, because there's something about the power dynamic that you want in that situation. So anybody who's been fooled out there, you've been fooled because you wanted to be fooled. You've been fooled because you wanted to be fooled. There's something about men. A man will stay put. It's more difficult for a man to go out there and try to find something new than to stay with what it is that he got. So if the moment he got his citizenship, he walk out the door, listen, something else is going on. Something else is going on. Some of us out there, we torture men. We torture them. You know, some of us out there, we are so emotionally unintelligent. You think because I have a vagina and you have a vagina that I'm going to co-sign all of the stuff that we do? No. There's some of us out there who are so toxic and emotionally unintelligent and abusive that our children, our friends, family, they run from us. They run from us. And you think that you're going to build allegiance by building a bum. And then you torture him too. Listen, we'll go. And so beautiful woman saying, then why do they go from one woman to another? That's a broken person. That's a broken person. Just take a look and see how a person lives their life. If you see a person who has been at the same job for 20 years, who has the same friend for 20 years, but then when it comes to you, he jumped from you to another person, you really got to look at yourself. But most of these people that we're talking about, these are people who can't commit to a job. They can't commit to themselves. They're not in the business of self-betterment and improvement. And we wondering why they can't really commit to us when we have no evidence. Let me ask you this question. Of the ladies out there who have been with a man who jumped from woman to woman, what was his employment status like? Come on, talk to me. God damn it, talk to me. I want to hear. What was his employment status like? What did his friendships look like? Did he have long-standing friendships with men who have been in his life since he was 15 years old, with people that he's had in his life for more than 10 years, with jobs that he's been able to keep and be steady at? I really want to know and understand. Do they have homes that they've invested in and have gotten mortgages on and make those payments on time? I want to know, because it's like we see the telltale signs. We see the telltale signs and then we're like, oh, he jumped ship on me. When he's jumped ship on his damn kids, he ain't taking care of his pick-me. He ain't got a penny to his damn name. He ain't got no savings, nothing that he's invested in. Come on. And I'm not going to say that the person was always a dusty, because there are wealthy men out there who jump from situation to situation, but look at how they handle other aspects of their life. They say how you do anything is how you do everything. And we sitting down here expecting people who have had no track record of XYZ behavior to all of a sudden come to us and have XYZ behavior. Let me tell you something right now. If a man abandons his child, if a man abandons flesh of his flesh, what do you expect from him for you? I want to know. I want to know. So this young lady who says that her mother dated an African man and he left her after he got his citizenship, what was his track record like in his job? Was he a stable man, an upstanding man who invested in himself, who had something when he came into the damn relationship? It's like far too many of us, I'm telling you, far too many of us be looking into our parents' business and we don't really know what goes on behind closed doors. You don't know what your mother was like as a mate. You don't know what that man was like as a mate. We look at it from a child's point of view and we say, oh, my mother did XYZ to my father, or my father did XYZ, or this, that, and the other. But you really don't know what goes on behind closed doors. It's like, listen, there are so many of us out there, so many of us women who are in denial. Listen, I'm a life coach. I talk to people every single day who are like, I don't have a problem. I have no problem. I don't need your services. I just wanted to and then you talk to them about how things are going in their lives. And they have no clue. There's so many of us who sit down here and we look at reality TV and we're like, oh, this person is so toxic. But we don't look and see how the same traits that we call toxic on TV are the same traits that we're perpetuating behind the scenes. So it's like, so that's the question right there. So the person who said, I want to hear from the person who said that her mother married an African man who left the moment that he got his citizenship. What was the rest of his life looking like? What other commitments did he have? What other commitments did he have? And anybody who marries a person from another country without going to that country and seeing where his family lived, where the man came from, where he rested his head at when he was a child, what he's like in his own environment, you gambling. You gambling. If you're going to sign your name on a dotted line with a person from another country and you never seen his people, you ain't never seen his uncles, his aunts, know whether or not he got a wife back home or whatever, you gambling. And I don't know what is it that's possessing you to take a gamble like that with your own life. All right. All right. Listen, so thank you all for coming out. I really appreciate you all for coming out. Jordan is saying, I have a degree, was president of Black Communication, ROTC honor roll, and a mound of debt, but I don't regret it. I don't know what we're talking about there. Okay. All right. Okay. So listen, thank you all. Okay. And if a woman lays with a man that doesn't take care of his kids, what does that say about her? And if there's a woman who's laying down with a man who doesn't know enough about him to even know whether or not he got kids, that means you ain't met his mother and you ain't asked questions, and you can't really settle up with a person if you ain't met their family. You can't settle up. Like, I can understand you want to have some casual intercourse, but if you're committing to a person and you haven't met their family, you're taking a gamble. All right. Listen, on that note, I will see you all in the next video. Send me those topics, come to my website and find out about matchmaking. And listen, above all, just love yourself for real. All right. Oh, let me, my book. Where's my book? I think it's in my purse. I have a book that I sell on Amazon. Let me see where my book is. It's in my purse right here. This is my book of affirmations, self-love. This is a workbook where you rewrite your affirmations, and this book changes, it completely shifts your whole internal programming. Hit the like button, everybody. Go to Amazon, get this. The link to the book is in the description. And thank you all for coming out and participating in this conversation today. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.